Hello. Well, here we are again. And this, I would say, is one of the number one things that I tend to kind of talk about on my videos, which is why I am on it today. I don't see how much level, videos I'm going to be making today. By the way, if you can't tell, I actually am kind of tired. So let's just get on with it. So, excuse me, I do not have COVID. Anyway. So, where do I start with insecurities? Oh my god. I just sometimes wonder if insecurities are like it's like probably the thing that just makes people do stupid shit like 90% of the time, it seems. I mean, especially when it comes to bullying. I mean, just in general, man, just insecurity after insecurity. Human beings just seem to be insecure about every damn thing. Sometimes I just think it's, how should I put it, a survival instinct sometimes. And sometimes when people are kind of insecure about something, it kind of does make sense sometimes. Just like, it's natural for somebody to worry about their relationship sometimes. I that, of course, and certain things that they might be insecure about. And sometimes I think our way of life, or should I say, this country has a real insecurity problem here. Like, there really fucking is. I mean, and the way that people react to it, you know, they react to it kind of differently. And just like how I've mentioned, I sometimes wonder if we're starting to become something like Japan. Because, and if you've never heard of it, there's the hikikomori, and, the people that have their jobs over there and blah, blah, blah. I just think that's, in this country as well, people are just being pushed to be more and more insecure of just about every little fucking thing. Just like I used to have an insecurity, like a lot of guys do, even to this day, obviously, about sex and partying. And until I actually started doing that stuff, I realized that everything that I was taught growing up just didn't fucking matter. And all that shit that I was taught to be insecure about just was a lie. And I had learned that you don't have to worry about all this shit. Like, you really don't. It's just so funny. And, just like how some people even have insecurities about being overweight. I mean, and some people, they just act like, overweight people are just such an issue here in America. And to be frank with you, it's really not that big of an issue. I mean, yeah, at one point last decade or so, there was a lot of, overweight people. And if you're like extremely overweight, that's not really healthy, but I'll just bring this up for example. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Do you expect everybody to look like this? I mean, of course not. You expect yourself to look like this? No, not always. And sometimes, lots of times, people get out of their 30s, it's already too late to look like this. And sometimes, some people, they just can't fucking lose weight. And they sometimes these people become so insecure that they actually gain weight due to the stress. Stress is actually a thing that makes people gain weight, or at least helps towards it anyway. And I just think it's so funny because sometimes people will try to make me more insecure from their insecurities. They tried to bully people. And nowadays, I just tell these people to fuck off. I tell them sometimes, just because you're so insecure about what you're trying to achieve doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be insecure about it. I mean, plus, I mean, how many people actually tell the truth about their sex lives nowadays, it seems? I mean, I'm going to take my glasses off. Now, who in their fucking right mind actually gives a shit about your sex life? I mean, also, it's really nobody's damn business what your sex life is like. It's nobody's fucking business. Who fucking cares? And you've probably heard me say that on this channel, but yeah, just who fucking cares? And you know how much I actually party nowadays? I almost never party. One of the few occasions that you might see me ever party anymore and drink is during Halloween, which is already passed. Anyway, so that and the pandemic, I kind of ruined the whole partying deal a bit. So you could see why and how I don't party so much anymore. Then the way that I've basically have almost died, at least on one occasion, from too much fucking drinking. Being drunk all the time is a bit overrated, especially when you don't remember everything that you did that night. And sometimes I've just wondered, how do we get so fucking insecure about all the stupid ass bullshit that doesn't even matter? And a lot of it actually does have to do with the media and even the internet nowadays. We all, or a lot of us at least, tend to go to the internet for a main source of information nowadays, right? And so that's where they tend to put the insecurities ads. That's where they start bullying people. And since, it's over the internet and it's not in person, people still think it's okay to bully people over the internet, or if it's on PSN, on a video game, etc. And while maybe to some extent, I guess it's okay, but, everything we do, just affects other people. I even remember this one time, this one guy, decided it would be funny to bully this one guy who was, on suicide watch that he met on, PC on a video game one time. And he's like, oh, it's just a fucking game, so it's okay. And it's just like, man, this isn't a fucking game anymore. Being a bit of a shit to somebody over the internet is one thing, but literally, pushing somebody over the limit and actually trying to make them suicide, that's not fucking funny. And I'm a person with a really big sense of humor, let me tell you. That is just not fucking funny. And that's not a game anymore when it gets to that point. Now, I understand that some of you guys might be sociopaths and, antisocial, but that's just a really dumb thing to do. And I just don't see how, it really is. But, and sometimes other ways that people might, try to unfold their insecurities, is again by getting a bunch of these little ladies here. They'll get a ton of these little dolls here, or even a love doll, or even 50 love dolls for all I know. I've seen some people have up to 300. If you've actually looked them up on the internet, fucking 300 love dolls. It's just fucking insane. And they'll fold, instead of bullying people, they fold their insecurities into, everything that they buy into these love dolls, etc. And this is part of the reason why I explain to people that part of, people having a love doll sometimes is, an expression of themselves and what they desire. They are putting what they're insecure about into their love doll or whatever they tend to buy, whether it's food, toys, etc. And, this is part of the reason why you see so many people get collections. Not all of them, but, some of them. Some of them. Excuse me. Oh, what else is there to say about insecurities? There's just so fucking much. There's just so many fucking insecure people that I tend to meet. It's just not even funny. And like I've said before in a previous video, I've sometimes seen grown-ups that are even older than myself just act like fucking kids over just stupid bullshit. Ah, man. You know, you do not have to make the expiration date of your condom. It's just funny how some insecure people will do certain things just to try to fold out their insecurity, like getting into a relationship just because reasons. It's like, oh, just because I don't want to die alone or something. And I'm just like, okay, like wanting to get into a relationship is one thing, but like just getting into a relationship just because, or just getting laid just because, or just, man, some people are just so fucking stupid. You know, you need to be more aware of what you're doing sometimes and what you're thinking. I mean, that's part of what's helped me. I mean, shit, I also actually used to be insecure about me being a gamer when I was younger. But, one day I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm a gamer. I like video games. And you know what? It's not like I'm just going around, screwing up people's shit just like kids used to do in the early 30s. And they say that kids aren't good nowadays. There's a reason why they came out with Halloween, by the way. It's because of all these kids screwing up people's places because they had nothing else to do. Excuse me, again. But anyway, I would say that's at least most of what I have to say about insecurity. But yeah, again, like seriously, just kind of think about it over. And it does take some time to kind of get over insecurity sometimes. I mean, nowadays, I just think I have like almost no securities nowadays. And I always think it's hilarious how some of these kids nowadays are trying to make me insecure like they are. And even grown-ups. It's just fucking hilarious. Anyway, so I'll just end the video right there. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.